Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea's Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you all are doing well, and I'm quite sure you are well aware. It's been a drama over drama and drama again, and we're here to talk about it. Mainly, we'll talk about the Heat and Macy's. What could have been, what the club should have done from your perspective, and also, yeah, we have you rate the window, how you deem fit, how you feel like it's reflective of how you see the club's signings and maybe the misses if you prefer. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. Without wasting much of your time, we do have quite a lot to talk about, with majority, you could say, a lot of that being about Nicholas Jackson's departure from Chelsea, how you could argue how dramatic it's been. I didn't expect it to be that dramatic, crazy. A lot of comments, a lot of, you could say, slight dig at Chelsea FC. Even some fans have joined the campaign of, accusing the staff of the club of treating the player badly. But anyway, yeah, people are entitled to their respective opinions, and we get to addressing the items we have lined up without wasting much of your time. And usually, because we keep it interactive here, it's important to go to the comment section and say hello to those of you who are already there. And we have 15 likes already because, yeah, this was meant to be a deadline day show. It didn't happen, but right now, it is Chelsea transfer hits and misses. João Pedro, Liam Delap, Jorrel Hato, Dario Essugo, Christopher Nkunku, Xavi Simons, Fermín López, and a whole lot more. And more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well, and thank you once again for finding the time to join the conversation. The first one item I have there, not particularly a report, but a good presentation, holistic presentation of Chelsea's activities in the just a short transfer window. The ones in that has a green check mark, all completed. Number one, Ben Chilwell, he went to Strasbourg. That was surprising to me. I didn't expect that to happen, but I think he's been that is, he's a consummate professional. It was never entirely. You could say, yeah, I get it. It wouldn't be right to say it was never about the money. Always about the money because it's a job. So he went to Strasbourg. Could have refused to, but he did it anyway. I respect him, and I know the fans will respect him for that. Nicholas Jackson to Bayern Munich after all the drama, the initial loan proposal and move to Bayern was called up by the club, and I'm glad we did. Now we've sold him on our own terms. irrespective of whether buyer finds an excuse to send them back, I think we'll be making a lot of money from Nicholas Jackson's move to Bayern Munich. So another bad deal, a huge deal, and we'll be selling him for £16 million plus. Yeah, that's something. When you look back, I think we need to you respect our club for the way we did. Again, we went about our businesses. This just in the just concluded transfer window. Gail Chris gone on a permanent, and Nkunku gone on a permanent to AC Milan. Shockingly, the list of the clubs I expected to drop the cash and take a player for us from us on a permanent, and then Nkunku's move to AC Milan, you could argue, was what led to Milan forfeiting their pursuit of the Nigerian international in Victor Boniface, who ended up joining, I think, Werder Bremen. Carney Chukwuemeka to Borussia Dortmund, and Salmino on loan at Borussia Dortmund. Renato Viega, where did he go again? Villarreal. Drewsbury Hall, Everton. Ugochukwu, where did he go? João Felix, yep, Saudi Arabia. Madueke, Arsenal. Armando Broya, where did he go again? Too many that I can't even remember all of them. Keparis, Balaga, Arsenal, and Raheem Sterling. Yeah, of course, he's still here. The Sisi not going anywhere, except if he's willing to go to Saudi Arabia or join the Turkish league. That's still a possibility, but I'd rather him stay. Because him staying could end up being a blessing in disguise. If he stays, he's still on our books. If anything happens and we're that desperate to add one more centre back, we just add him and use him in a traditional manner. It's really that simple. Just on the playing at the back thing, and don't play him as a right back. I think he would do well. I get it. In all honesty, he's not Chelsea level, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. But the Sassi not leaving, if he ends up not leaving, it'd be a serious blessing in disguise. And as the show progresses, I appreciate you all. I think we've gained around 7 subscribers, new subscribers already. If you haven't, please do take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I get it. This approach is novice to a lot of you, because we're streaming in a vertical format, and a lot of people don't know how it works. You can just press and hold your screen for just about a second to see the bells and whistles, which includes the like, comment, and share options. Please do help us garner more likes. We'd really appreciate that. That Fofana, I don't even know he's still here. But respect to Ben Chilwell, I think he understands it's business for all parties involved, and him going out on loan will go a long way for the club. Not on loan, actually. He was sold on a permanent to Strasbourg. Irrespective of how people see it, that we sold him to ourselves. It doesn't freaking matter. Again, Strasbourg is an independent entity. I get it under some umbrella, blue coat, but it doesn't really matter. I respect him for that. That shows, he does care. It's money for all parties involved. He could have said no. It just doesn't. Again, it doesn't have to accept joining a Strasbourg. So good business, and I think everything amounted to around 300 million pounds in player sales. Not sales alone. That's a mix of loan deals and all that. But that's, by the way, I have Vic in the house, and first of all, Nemaya Fowle, aka Cole Palmer, here is saying Jackson gone. Yeah, he's gone. Finally, I don't think he was ready to come back, and you could argue we didn't necessarily call off of that loan move to Bayern because we wanted to reintegrate him into the team. I think it was an opportunity for us to, sell him on our own terms, and eventually we did, irrespective of how it ends. Jackson, Fermín López, Jackson gone, Fermín López, they're not coming in. Sorry, coach, but my prediction checks out. Yeah, fine. I wasn't too sure about Fermín López, but what our analysis of the what's his name, Hansi Flick's post-game comments was just, it reflects the fact that he'd already told them he wants to leave, but they didn't want him gone. And you could argue, if we're willing to meet their valuation, I think he'd be a Chelsea player right now. I think the pricing, you could argue, or you could say the asking price was one of the main reasons why we didn't eventually sign Fermín López, but not too late. I think we're fine. We're not lacking in that area since Estêvão can also play as a 10. I think, yeah, signing him would have been a plus, but it's not that sort of signing that, yeah, because it didn't happen, we're in trouble. And Rich Money Makers, nice to see you, Rich Money Makers. I do hope you're doing well. So Rich Money Makers here says, who thinks that the Sporting directors have done a good job this season when we all promised established, experienced players? If you sell Nkunku and Driscoll Hall, and when we have, but it looks like we're not. I'm not going to blame them for anything because the truth remains their job is to execute the plan, and they executed the plan. And the plan in question, not solely their design. Yeah, the hierarchy part of it, the manager part of it. I don't think we're signing any player without the manager okay in the signing of the player. I don't think we'd let any player go without the manager okay in the departure of that player in particular. So it just wouldn't make sense to say, yeah, it's the players we didn't sign was down to the ineptitude of maybe of the Sporting directors, and that's my opinion. You have every right to say that's the reason why we didn't win the FA Cup and all that. Yeah, and there was never a time they promised you any experience signing, and the players they sign, the manager is okay with it, and their job is just to execute the plan. In my opinion, signing anyone else, this doesn't look good on the Sporting director. I don't blame them for anything. I think it's you, but you go ahead and blame them if that's what you want to do. Sporting directors, it might surprise me or not. According to my trusted sources, the coach wanted a center back. You mean? I think if he really wanted one, I think we'd get one. And plus, the truth remains, I think we operated on we had to navigate some restrictions because as the UEFA fine, and I don't know, again, I don't have the full details to that, how that works, but we had issues that we had to bear at the back of our mind while we execute our transfer activities. Not bad. We still have a good squad. We have a much better squad than we had last season, irrespective of the departure of Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku. We have you could argue a like for like player that can rotate with Moises Caicedo, come on, or maybe come in, do an even better job, equally good job, or maybe an even better job. In Dario Essugo, we have Estêvão added to the club. Garnacho joined the club. Gittins joined the club. I think we have a much better squad than we do this season than last season. But you have every right to start blaming the Sporting directors. They haven't done anything wrong. People seem to forget we had some, you could say, restrictive circumstances to navigate, and I think we did that effectively. In all honesty, but you have every right to see it the way you see it. Wanted the backup signing if Nkunku went out. Okay, it looks like a Barnett Brighton player. Does it? But here's your issue: the way we judge players. As long as we sign the player from Brighton, automatically to a lot of Chelsea fans, that player isn't good enough. Do you know Barnett? Do you know he's a good player? Why do you think Brighton refused to sell him on a permanent? We actually wanted him on a permanent. Why do you think they refused to sell him on a permanent? They're not stupid. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Vic says you need to relax later and drink Coca-Cola or something. Something with a lot of sugar. Sugar is this thing. But Leighton, I don't know I do hope you're doing well. But more importantly, I don't think it makes sense to just blame the Sporting directors. And here's the thing: my opinion of this transfer window is this. For me, not a bad transfer window. Could have been better. I would have loved for us to sign Xavi Simons, but for some reason we didn't sign him. And the fact we didn't even make an official bid tells me, that was the reason why we pulled out. It was never a priority target for us. It's as simple as that. And I'm not concerned going into the season. I think we're good. honestly. But this reads opinion, given how restrictive, that's my opinion anyway, this transfer window was, Chelsea deserves a serious credit for how well we navigated the transfer window, irrespective of the restrictive circumstances that we had to deal with. I think we did well, honestly. And we have a more mature squad than we had last season, and we added some excellent talent to that squad. We didn't sign players just for the sake of it, and I think usually on under Roman that was the case. If a player gets injured, we just sign another one, and that led to us having a bloated squad at the time, and it was difficult to get rid of a lot of them. We kept pathways open for young talents such as Koenda, Pies, and Josh Achimpong. People aren't paying attention to that. And you could argue that was the main reason why we went that serious about Xavi Simons. If we're going to get him, it have to be on our own terms, or you could say an opportunity that be too good to pass by. So I'm not complaining. We have a much better squad than we had last season. Could have been better had we been able to get signed Fermín López, but at the end, it looks like Barcelona pressured him into deciding to stay. Because if he made it public that he wants to leave, I think we'll push through and get the deal across the line. But he didn't. They bullied him into deciding to stay, even though he hardly ever starts. In the case of Xavi Simons, maybe we didn't really want him. And the fact that the manager took some time to speak with Fermín Lopez on the phone, but he didn't do the same for, what's his name, Xavi Simons, showed that, yeah, the priority was always Fermín Lopez. And we can do without him. Actually, we have more players. We have more than two players that is capable of fulfilling the 10 role. But the difference being that, yeah, he's capable of also playing on the flanks too. Both Xavi Simons and Fermín Lopez. So I don't think I think we're good. And here's my opinion, how I see it. I think a lot of Chelsea fans, I think a lot of Chelsea fans are just jealous of the signings made by our rivals like Liverpool, Arsenal, and that subconsciously drives their opinion of how well, of how good of a window we've had, and that's not okay. I've always known, yeah, we can do without Xavi Simons if we sign him better. We can do without Fermín Lopez if we sign him even better. So I don't think it makes sense to just blame. Once again, I'm gonna just say that one more time. I don't think it makes sense to blame the sporting directors for reasons I've explained. They are there to execute the plan in place. They don't make the plans independently. The manager part of the plan. Some other members of the hierarchy, scouting department, they will look at it and say they will all have to agree before a player is signed. So I think we're good. Honestly, I think we're good. But just remember, I told you that once again. It's your opinion. You see things the way you want to see it. Did Chelsea sign any other defender? No, we did not. Kingsley Chinaweze, Amobi Chukwudalo, and thank you for joining. IB, big up everyone. 7.5, great outing on the incomings. Not bad. 7.5, not a good rating. I give them 9. I'd go to the extent of 9.5. Yeah, we have two excellent right backs. You could argue two excellent left backs. Our left backs actually are both capable of fulfilling the left centre back role, actually, in Jorrel Hato and Cucurella. But it's not perfect. And once again, it's important to note that had it not been the restrictive circumstances we had to deal with, I think we probably could have signed up 2 more players at least. Yeah, but we had issues to deal with. Yeah, so certain outgoings don't count towards fulfilling UEFA's demand. That made it difficult. Esban, Chelsea didn't sign any defender. I think we'll be all right. Honestly, if we had we signed one, I think we'd be a lot better. But without one, I think we'll be okay. And hope that's why I'm saying, even though I'd say. Even though I'd say that uh, I'd be the first to let you know that as to the CCEs and Chelsea level, I think the fact that, yeah, he's still at the club, except if he decides to join one of the Turkey, a club in Turkey or maybe in Saudi Arabia, I'm praying that he stays, because that could end up being a blessing in disguise. But I think we're good, honestly. I am happy that we have kept Trevor Chalobah. I've always known that he stays, because yeah, he's improved a lot under Enzo Maresca, and give him credit. He looks confident. He looks like somebody that knows that the manager has believes in him. Do we have midfield? We do have more than enough, actually. Remember, in the midfield area, if you're talking about the sixes area, we still have Lavia, Dario Essugo, Romeo Lavia, Andrea Santos. That's four of them, and we still have I think six. We have six there, six players that are capable of fulfilling that role. Reece James also can play there too, so I'm not concerned. And my bro, Adebayo Malcolm, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Come on, people, more likes, more likes. Yes, shamelessly, we still do beg for likes, because yeah, we're not a big account yet, but we're getting there. Right now, we're 28,089 subscribers. We got to 28,000 subscribers yesterday. The plan was to get to 30K subscribers, but we weren't able to do that. But yeah, a lot of delicious stuff, content cooking behind the scenes, and I think we'll get there soon. But that's, by the way, if half of you take a second to drop a like on the video, would have at least, yeah, let's say 25 likes. Kochila, you plan for the future without adequately taking care of today. Maresca will walk out should this lack of support persist. I don't see lack of support. Here's the thing. In all honesty, I don't see lack of support. And he did say the other day, he said he loves, before he joined Chelsea, that he loves the squad. And that hasn't changed. And he even went to the measure of saying, to the extent of saying, the squad has become even better. I don't think it works. Everything is fine right now. The reasons we weren't able to go get those players across the line, he's well acquainted to the situation. No, I don't think we want to back him, and he knows that. I don't think we'd sign Gittins without him okaying the signing of Gittins. I don't think we'd sign João Pedro without him okaying the signing of João Pedro. I don't think we'll mention who, since he joined us. And for the goalkeeping department, Maresca is the reason why we're sticking with Robert Sanchez. Let that be clear. If he wanted another goalkeeper, we'd get another one. But you have every right to see it the way you see it. No, he's not going to work. Everything is just perfect right now. And believe me, I think we've done enough to show him we back you. And that's even with the restrictive circumstances that we had to navigate to still be able to sign players. I think he knows. I think he's happy. We have a much better squad than we had last season. We have right now. And you could argue Maresca is the reason why Nicholas Jackson is moving on and we still support him. You could argue he's the reason why after, that's just a theory, by the way, but I think to an extent it does make sense. You could argue he was the reason why after calling off the Nicholas Jackson proposal on move to Bayern, probably he told them, I just cannot work with this guy anymore. You never know. So I don't think, no, everything is fine right now. And I'm going to repeat that again. During one of, again, recent presses, he did say he told the club he loves the squad. And yeah, and the squad has gotten even better. Why would he work? And the fact that we didn't sign another goalkeeper on him. Yeah, if we seriously needed one, I think we'd sign one right now. We shouldn't have created the bomb squad because the team's lowballed us it wasn't a deliberate action. It was something that due to some circumstances beyond our control happened the way it did. And probably you could argue we've always known that, yeah, teams will lowball us because they know we do need to move on those players in question. It would have been higher if we didn't stall in the last 2 weeks because we didn't want him. And do we really need him? To an extent, I'd say no, but he'd make us stronger. Because Cole Palmer can operate as 10. What's his name? The Brazilian kid can also operate as a 10. And I'd rather the Brazilian kid actually, not necessarily, but let's just stick with it. He can operate as a 10. João Pedro can operate as a 10. And I think the advantage to the players we have that a lot of them are versatile enough to play in multiple positions and not just in a single position. So I think we're good, honestly. Xavi Simons could have, yeah, with him would be a lot better equipped going into the season. Even with Fermín López would be a lot better equipped going into the season. But I think we're good, really. Why did we get a Garnacho instead of a goalkeeper? Because we don't necessarily have a serious goalkeeping issue. We don't. I was one of those calling for us to sign another goalkeeper. Yeah. And do you not think that what's his name? You could call him Philip Jorgensen. He's an excellent shot stopper, but still because he's inexperienced. Do we need to sign another goalkeeper given the potential of also of what's his name, Mike Penders? Yeah, and there's only one issue with Robert Sanchez. The lapse is in concentration every now and then, which you could argue has actually reduced significantly. And he's an excellent shot stopper on his day. And the fact that the manager, during that interview, where he was asked about Robert Sanchez's, you could say, lapses in concentration during games, high-profile games, and all that, he said he's the sort of goalkeeper that will save you more points. Something to the effect of his errors will, you could say, the points he'd save you enough points to nullify, maybe to cancel out the errors he make. Do I think we can do better than him? Absolutely. But I don't think we should be in a rush to go get another goalkeeper and then make a mistake. Just as some people calling for us to go sign Donnarumma, who's on a double, maybe double the salary of Sanchez. Plus, Sanchez is actually a better shot stopper. A lot of high claims from Sanchez than him. High claims, you can argue Sanchez didn't do much of that until from mid-season down and continued to the Club World Cup and the new season, which helped us develop, you could say, the ability to defend a set piece very well. So he's improving, and long may that continue. I think we're fine in the goalkeeping department. Defensive area, maybe, yeah, one addition could have been enough, but maybe because Jorrel Hato, he's capable of playing as a centre back too. Maybe that led to us saying, you know what, with him, I think we're fine. So I think we're overthinking it. And in most cases, and as I've said before, some of us are just, you could say, driven by, you could say, our jealousy of the players that are you could say, rival teams have signed. Yeah, just on. And you can say that we're not content with how well we've done in this market. We did in just concluded our transfer window, in my opinion. But yeah, we're all entitled to our respective opinions. Why did we get Garnacho? Yeah, I think I've answered that. Garnacho will go a long way for us. It provides good competition for getters. And I think a lot of us don't rate Garnacho and have not been able to look beyond the so-called attitude issue or behavior. A lot of people actually don't speak of him from a footballing perspective. It's always his attitude. What attitude, really? Are we going to start now judging him because of what his 16-year-old brother does on social media? He's a good player. Puts in excellent crosses into the box, on the carpet and in the air. And had Manchester United been clinical, Haaland, even the Portuguese, their Portuguese captain, had they been clinical in terms of putting away the chances that Garnacho created for them, Garnacho, he'd have double the number of assists he left Manchester United with. And just for more context, this is not me saying Rodrigo is a bad player. Can you compare his numbers from the 24-25 season to that of Rodrigo, the guy that plays, the kid that plays for Madrid? The only difference is Rodrigo, he's won trophies and more experience, maybe. And Garnacho is just 21. But unfortunately, and Vic, you're right. I never wanted him. But you know why? Yesterday, I'm the sort of person that sometimes I was able to look at things seriously and was like, what am I doing? It turns out I wouldn't say follow the punch. I just followed the crowd. Yeah, just joined the campaign for the sake of it. Maybe driven by the fact that I'm a content creator, but usually I don't. It doesn't last. Once I make such mistakes, I usually realize what I'm doing and say, "What is going on here?" But I did my research and realized, I don't think it makes sense. People are just saying we don't want Garnacho just for the sake of saying it, or just you could say, or still driven by their perceived ill behavior of the kid, or maybe bad attitude of the kid that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I didn't want him, but that changed quickly. Not just because down to the fact that I've always known that he'd end up at Chelsea. No, but because I looked at it deeper than than a lot of people would want to, and realized we're actually signing a good player here. And you'd be surprised that he'd be one of the few players that has that sort of attitude, on pitch attitude that you want from a Chelsea player. He has grit, commitment, and show him love. You will get the best out of him. And United will regret selling him to Chelsea at the price they sold him for. Also, does anyone trust the CBs? I trust them. And here's the thing. Let's say this. I think the average football fan expects the defensive line to be the only ones that do the defending. But here's something for you. In a real, where you have a good structure, where you have a very good drilled team, a well-drilled team, or a team that plays as a unit, the defending starts in the attacking area. Then the attacking midfielders, then the 2-6s area, it depends on the structure. And if you defend as a unit, it'd be difficult to even, sometimes you can actually play, if you like, you can actually play, you can say a midfielder as a defender and nobody will know. But more importantly, you'd have to be able to, as a team, to defend as a unit. Where it becomes an issue is where you don't have a unit yet. You have a team of individual players. You don't know how to defend as a unit. Then maybe that's when I'd be concerned with regards to the experience, or maybe the absence of Levi Colwell, or maybe the case of what's his name, Wesley Fofana, that hardly ever stays fit for a prolonged period of time. But here's the thing. As long as we defend as a unit, I think we'll be all right until we'll find that defender that fits the profile that the manager really wants. I think we'll be all right. I think our list of our problems should be our defensive line. I think we have enough numbers there, and as long as we defend as a unit, I think we'll be fine. Honestly, I think we will be fine. Just that. Chalobah has improved. Josh Archibong paired, we say, just the manager just has to pay attention with the pairing. We still have Fofana. Hopefully he stays fit. And if you see the way we play, the application, I get it. You see 4-2-3-1 and all that, but the application shows sometimes that we only need 2 CBs. Yeah. So I'm not concerned, really. But you're entitled to see it the way you deem fit. According to my sources, the coach wants more established players and no more kids next season. Okay, but thank you for that information. I appreciate you. And Ezekiel Joseph back. I think you're nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And it looks like this is your first time here. If that's the case, welcome to our home. Express yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. And more likes, people, more likes, 19 likes. I think we should be doing a lot better than that. Please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's see. You have financial constraints and yet spent 55 million on Gittins. Yeah, isn't Gittins important? Can you? Yeah, I love you, bro. But can you tell me, have we made a mistake by signing Gittins? Or maybe you're one of those who don't believe he's good enough for the club. I think he's good enough. Maybe he needs time to adapt. No, I disagree. Gittins is a good signing. I think probably you would rather we sign a goalkeeper with that money than Gittins. No, Gittins wasn't a mistake. He's an excellent signing for us. Yeah, but remember I told you that. But if you feel like it's not a good signing for us, yeah, let's pay attention and see how it pans out. And then we'll revisit this conversation And right now, I'm gonna skip past a lot of your comments there. Scroll down further so that we can switch to the next item we have lined up. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. Thank you for that. Financial constraints indeed. Getty Kuchila, yeah. The Just go away. Okay. John live last week and said you'd get Canacho. I've always known we're getting Canacho. I didn't doubt that one bit. As a United fan, thank you. No, you're fine. I look. You will regret selling him, especially at the price we sold him to us. There's a nepotism at play at CFC. Sanchez is just not good enough, and I don't think so. I think he is good enough at the moment. The question is, will he continue in the trajectory that we've seen? Good stuff from mid-season to Club World Cup, especially that performance against PSG. I think he deserves to get another chance. And if he fails to perform, Philip Jorgensen is actually an excellent shot stopper, much better on the ball. But with long ball distributions, Sanchez is much better in that aspect. And Philip Jorgensen, he can actually get better in that aspect too. I think I'm grateful. Honestly, things are starting to click. Our players are more mature. We're more of a unit than we were under Pochettino. These days, we don't necessarily have to have Cole Palmer on the pitch to win games. If he's available for selection and ready to play, even better. So I'm grateful, really. I can listen. I'm the sort of person I try the best I can to look at situations objectively and not just let one incident maybe make me unnecessarily see things you could say from a different perspective, if that makes sense. I know for a fact the coach is fed up of player. Yeah, possibly, maybe, I don't know. In a meeting today, I heard the coach wants a challenge for the league, but as this told the coach, top four. Okay. Thank you for that information, but I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You never. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want him, but yeah, I did my research and realized what am I doing? I just followed the crowd at the time, but I realized I was making a mistake. He'd be actually chances are he'd be one of the signings of the season of the window for us. Yeah. I really like him, his attitude, on-pitch attitude, everything gives 100%. I like Garnacho attitude. We can all be nice guys. We cannot all, yeah, we cannot be nice guys. We cannot all be nice guys. We need that extra competition. And the kid, I do like him. I got no issue with Garnacho because he did turn down loads of teams for us, and we need a bit more established players to win the league. And he's established. I know we use experience and age interchangeably. At 21, he's very experienced. That's one thing people don't look at. Let's see. I back Garnacho because I don't fancy Gittins. I fancy Gittins a lot. I like them both. I think Garnacho more direct than Gittins in my opinion. But I think we have a good squad right now. Gittins will come good eventually. The Garnacho signing, I need, and his experience is an okay signing. My crux is with the expensive Gittins signing. Gittins, believe me, bro. Well, listen. We will look back to this day, and you remember I told you Gittins is an excellent signing. Listen, maybe he's not ripped up trees in the two again in the games he's gotten the chance to be on the pitch for us. Give him time. Honestly, he'd be there. If I see a bad play, I'll tell you immediately. Gittins isn't one. Yeah, he will get there, honestly. But that's my opinion anyway. I get this becoming good is relative. He is so out of his depth and feels like Nani a story being repeated. No, he's more equipped than Nani. Better than Nani. Looks up, puts the ball in the box with intent. Don't just put it in the box for the sake of it. But don't worry. We'll get there. Up the Charles, brother, trending gang. Up the Charles, indeed. Thank you for joining. I do hope you're doing well. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna scroll past a few comments, get to the very bottom, and then we'll try to address your subsequent contributions in the chat. Because yeah, as much as I like to interact with you, if we don't come back to the tabs to start addressing the items you have lined up, reading your comments will end up being the only um, thing we'll do for the rest of the show. But that's fine. All right, what do we have? Great in Germany, good EPL. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I still think we're thin up front. I don't think we are. I think we underestimate Margui, but he was just unlucky that he got injured the same game that Nicholas Jackson got injured. My goodness, I think had it not been for that, I'm not sure the odds of that happening. Actually, if somebody told me before the game that would have them both, that both of them would get injured in a single game, I would bet my life on it. But I think I learned a lot on that day. He had it not been for that injury, I think he would have proven a lot to a lot of Chelsea fans that yeah, he's actually capable of starting. Did we not know he had an excellent season at Barcelona under Xavi, the legendary Xavi that coached Barcelona at the time, gave him the opportunity. He scored a few good goals, one in the Champions League and all that. And here's the thing: Barcelona made a mistake, and you could argue that's probably the reason why they bullied Fermín into staying, and probably they will find a way. They will persuade him to sign a new contract. They made a mistake with Mark Gee. Had it not been the fact that they didn't realize that clubs were paying attention to him, they could have actually persuaded him to sign a new contract, and then it would have been difficult for us to get him. But because we got him for cheap, how old is he? Amara Diom, how much were we gonna pay for Amara Diom? Yeah, which I don't think he's not better. He's just more of a powerful player than Matt Gee. Mark Gee is more rounded than Amara Diom, but we were gonna pay nearly how much for Amara Diom? I can't quite remember. But in his case, Simoni and Co at Atletico Madrid, they realized that he was such a good talent. They at the time moved quickly to tie him down with a long-term contract, which was the same thing Barca didn't do with Marquis. And had they done that, and we went for him, paid something, you could say anything, 25, 30, 40 million pounds. In all honesty, I think he'd be playing a lot right now. But yeah, we would take him for granted because we didn't spend that much money for him. We paid 11 million pounds for him. But I think Maresca likes him. But he was unlucky when Nicholas Jackson got injured. He got injured in the same game. And had that not been the case, I think he'd be an established player, squad player right now. Lucky Sin, nice to see you. I do hope you're not. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. It had to find someone was a no end product. Who has no end product? You actually go take your time and compare their numbers, really. To say he has no end product. He's a much better dribbler, more productive dribbler than Noni Madueke. Top 1% for the entire Europe. Yeah, I think he might need time, but yeah, Gittins, I don't fear that he's not going to succeed at Chelsea. And if you say Garnacho probably better than Gittins, then that's fine. There's again one player definitely has to be better than the other. All right. And Sean Abiona says, "Do you think Jackson? I mean, here's the thing. Okay, let's look at the current loan deal. A loan deal with an obligation for a permanent purchase. But I did read something that suggests before it becomes a permanent purchase, certain clauses has to be met. I'm not sure. Something I'm not sure. I can't quite remember what I read, but it's not that straightforward. Yeah, so certain clauses have to be met. It's not like just at the end of the season, irrespective of how badly he plays, they sign him on a permanent. No, so you could argue if certain clauses have to be met, then yeah, there's still a chance he comes back a Chelsea player. So, but I don't know. I have to educate myself to get to understand. And that's actually where they upload such thing. So I have to go check it out. Guy is in the class of Amaro Dion, Coachella. One is already a full international, an Olympiad. Yeah, you can argue, but I'm just saying how they compare. Margi is more complete. Amaro Dion more of a power player. I don't know if you get my point. But I'm just again, I've made my got my points across. We need to bring in Datro Fofana. Bring on Datro Fofana. Do I see that happening? I honestly do not know. Coach forgot Samu in the full Spanish international. I know that. I'm just saying their profile. I'm not saying. I'm just. Here's the thing. I'm just saying. Guy, for me, is more complete than Amara. Amara is more of a power player. He's more of a yeah, in my opinion. Both are more of traditional number nines, but you can get more in terms of his all-round play from Guy than Amara Dion. Yeah, I know he is. I do know that. Nah, but yeah, that's by the way. So this here reads, let's see what else we have here. Um, I think this is Vince's opinion. What the heck happened here? Oh my gosh. Okay. But by the way, Moggy is back, and Enzo Maresca likes him. He presses very well, which is you could argue the lack of again the inability. For instance, in the case of Nkunku, because Nkunku he is practically useless off the ball. That's one of the main reasons why he'd never work at the camp for Maresca, even if he stayed. But Margi, he presses very, very well. And you could argue that's one of the main reasons why Maresca likes him. Adeba is saying, interesting question. Why don't we have a short sponsor? It's so troubling and it shows that our management teams are still rookies. No. They're actually vying again. I'm not sure how else to phrase it. If we were, had we accepted, I think it was aliens. I think it was around 5 million at the time, and we were just you can say after the political stuff that happened at the time after selling the club, and then under the new ownership, we lost our current sponsor, front of shirt sponsor at the time. Allianz offered, I think, was it 5 million a year or how much a year, and we rejected it. It's just a matter of knowing our value, a matter of us not willing to undersell the brand. If we were that desperate, I think by now we'd have a shirt sponsor. The reason is that we have those that understand that, yeah, we're Chelsea, a big entity like us. We have the capacity to attract some of the biggest name sponsors. And have you heard the names of sponsors? Again, should I say those interested in becoming an RFOS? Yeah, I think Emirates is Emirates one of them. Riyadh Air. I think about four names and a lot of money. And I'm happy that we waited. We finished with Damak, and then we have other deals with Damak. I'm not sure how to explain that. And then I think Damak also wanted to extend it to the Club World Cup or so, but something happened and it wasn't allowed. But after winning the Club World Cup, the price gone up. It's yet there are a lot of potential sponsors out there that we're talking with them. So we don't just want to, you can say, pick one because, yeah, we're happy for how much they brought to the table. So if we were in a hurry that much, then, yeah, we'll have Allianz as our sponsor right now. No, I don't think it's troubling. And front of shirt sponsors, they don't bring you luck. That it doesn't mean we'll play better. No, I mean, it's revenue, but I get it. But I like it that, yeah, we're not in a hurry because we don't want to undersell the brand. I want Jackson to come back to Chelsea. I don't think it happens again. I think that's it. He's burned the bridge. He's also burned the ground where you'd have the chance of rebuilding the bridge. That's my opinion. It's possible if Bayern decides for any reason that they're not going to sign him on a permanent, I think he'd come back and then would find a solution for him to move on. Except if we change, we have a new manager and that new manager feels like Jackson should be his. He wants Jackson as his starting number 9. And entering with the reserve of one whole season. Okay, there you go. Now I get your joke. I wasn't sorry. I should have read it through before concluding. He says, I want Jackson to come back to Chelsea after his loan and train with the reserve for one whole season. Yeah, I should have read that through before. Uh, doesn't have what it takes, to cause all the drama. But yes, I'm happy that at the end we sold him on our own terms. I didn't like the fact that it was going to be a loan deal with an option for a permanent purchase. I never believed Bayern would have triggered the option to buy him on a permanent purchase. Honestly, and let's see whether he'd play enough there. Um, who's this? I don't want Jackson to return back to Chelsea. I don't think it happens again. No, the relationship, Coachella, you're making excuses. Okay, I'm not making excuses. Maybe you've not been following the story. Honestly, at the time where we didn't have one, the truth remains we had options that we could have accepted, but we weren't willing to undersell the club's brand. It's really that's my opinion, but not this is just not barely not just my opinion alone. You can research that. We've had a lot of options. Yeah, I'm happy we waited. But that's you have every right to see it the way you see it. Then we cannot complain about limited finances. It's taking too long to chill out. Maybe it is, but eventually the right FOS will get the right FOS and a lot of money. And we heard last week that actually we were on the verge of getting one. Why it hasn't happened, I don't know. But I'm not concerned. It's not like it makes us play better, but I get it. It's another revenue stream. Jackson already had 2 seasons. I don't need him. I wasn't. Listen, I was one of those that if he stayed, uh, not an issue for me. He makes us stronger. It's really as simple as that. But I think he'd do well in the Bundesliga. But that's my opinion. Where the Max 777 coach, I think Jackson was thinking about the World Cup and him not playing enough. A lot of players do, and I don't blame him. I honestly don't blame him. Give me a second here. I need to take care of something quickly. Now that I see my bro in the chat, I think I created a command. I think there's lots of command here. I can't remember all of them like that. And he says that the option to buy for Bayern is better for us. Yeah, obligation. Yep. If they don't buy him, we can loan him out. Okay, we can loan him out again for another fee because we already made 16 million already. That's some fee for a loan. You could argue they just had to do that to entice us, but I didn't for one second believe that they trigger the permanent purchase option had he gone to them with just an option for a permanent purchase. So I'm glad we've sold them on our terms, obligation for a permanent purchase. But I need to educate myself whether there are clauses to meet before they trigger the permanent purchase option. Wendy, thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate you for finding the time to join the show. Let me see. Oh, I haven't created a command for my bro, Road King TV. I'll create it. That makes it easier for me to, even when I'm alone on the panel, I'll be easy just to trigger easier for me to trigger the command. But bro, you can always share the link to your YouTube channel. We don't need to actually to discuss that. Yeah, so I agree. That's a lot of money, but I think you can argue to some extent we wanted a solution, a permanent solution. Yeah, because it can be a headache. to actually sometimes find a club for the player. So I think we wanted him gone and gone for good. It is what it is. Nobody can. People knew nothing about him. People know until we signed him, until he became a Chelsea player. Yeah. All right, Margui. I'm happy he's coming back. I think he's gonna do well. But let's see. I feel for him. But look at his IG post. You could argue to an extent he's happy to come back. Yeah, loves the club. That's how I interpret it. Him on away jersey with the two blue hearts are there for me. I feel bad for him, but you never know. Maresca likes him. Yeah. And if he plays well, start banging in goals, even the lap comes back, he'd have to prove that, yeah, that he's the better option than Mark Gee. But it is what it is. More likes, people. 25 likes. We can do a lot better than that. We still have 48 people following the show. Let's try and get it to at least 30 likes. 54 people right now. All right, Margie on Instagram. I love that kid. So the CC wanted to move back to his native Monaco, but Chelsea ran out of international loan spots, using the last one to bank £14.3 million in a loan fee for Nicholas Jackson to join Bayern Munich. So good move by us. Good move right there. Prioritize a loan deal that, yeah, would make a 14.3 million from. Not a bad option. And I don't know, why was he reluctant to join Arabia? I hope he stays. You never know. That could end up being a blessing in disguise. If one of our current centre backs gets injured, you just, yeah, it's plug and play and use them as a traditional CB. No, don't make sure, yeah, whenever he's on the pitch, yeah, we don't try to play out from the back, because his biggest problem is he struggles under the slightest of pressure from the opposition. If he doesn't have if it doesn't have what is going on here? If it doesn't have uh wow, what's going on here? Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. But that's, by the way, I'm not sure why this is saying that my internet connection is an issue. So let's see what's going on here. Open widget. I'm not sure. How is the connection on your end? I'm not sure what's going on here. But the main system in front of me is perfect. I'm not sure why the other one is acting the way it is right now. All right. But let's see. So what happened to Stalin? Yeah. The guy doesn't care. He's lost the hunger to play. And I think it's really that simple. And Stalin's situation, for me, nothing new there. Yeah, he's not getting any younger. Um, Makes 350k plus or so, but 300 plus k a week, and he's not one of those. We can in his salary isn't one of those heavily incentivized salaries. In this case, these days we offer that the sort of contract that, yeah, you work for what you earn. In this case, he can sit at home, be sipping on a glass of wine, and his money will come in, no deduction, nothing. But he's lost the hunger to play. He's not playing to impress anybody. He knows he'd never get a chance to represent England again. He's not been in the greatest of form. Joining the Arsenal was, my goodness, was shit as Arsenal. He stank up the whole place that even at some point they stopped playing him. Probably at the time you could argue was just out of respect, didn't terminate his loan spell at the club at the time. I knew we were in trouble. The fact that the Enzo Maresca joined and we hadn't at the time heard anything from the club with regards to who's surplus to requirement and who's not. And we got a brief, not maybe a statement from his camp. And if I remember, the statement at the time read read something to the effect of Raheem Sterling is at Chelsea and his aim is to help the club win more trophies. He's not looking to go anywhere. He's here to stay and fight for his place. That was when I knew that we yeah, went to trouble. Interpretation of the comment at the time, for me, we did analyze the statement from his camp, and I did tell people that that's my interpretation of that statement from Jackson's camp is, yeah, look, I'm not going anywhere, and I earn 300K plus a week. If you want me gone, buy up my contract. In all honesty, I'd swear that that was basically what they were telling the club at the time. For them to, in a hurry, put out such statement, even before we heard from the manager that Sterling is surplus to requirement. That was when I knew that, yeah. And at the time, had we opted to buy out his contract, I think we'd pay him nearly £71 million. I'm not sure how much it amounts to right now, should we decide to buy out his contract. So I knew from that moment that, yeah, we're in trouble. And yeah, it's gotten worse. He doesn't look like he's fully fit, actually. Yeah. But it is what it is. We're in serious trouble. Yeah, on personal management, it's becoming a season on season recurrence. I agree. That Trevor nonsense of last season still irks you. Right. Stalin's case, yeah, he's. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with him right now. He doesn't want to go to Turkey. Doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. It doesn't. It didn't look as if he was eager actually to join Fulham. We heard at the time we were interested in signing him. So we're in trouble with him. All right, 26 likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you. We have 102 people following the show. 43 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook, whether equally Coachella doesn't know. But we do have 43 people on YouTube. I think we should be doing a lot better than 26 likes. So if you haven't, please do take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. All right, at least 38 people rate the Windows 7 out of 10 or 8/10. Not bad. I think we're good, honestly. But let's see what else we have here. And Rich Money Makers and Mark Dove says Jackson is not mentally strong. It's the best outcome he went to Bayern. I mean, that's a very good way to see it. Again, he wasn't ready to compete, irrespective of how anybody sees it. And Vince, or Vic, so to speak. Vic, you see how, again, these days I can't finish, I can't host a show without saying irrespective 10,000 times. A word I've done, again, I wasn't, I didn't use that much before, but yeah, thank you. And Nicholas Jackson was useless against low blocks when Muggy can deal with low blocks. Interesting. Big up to you too, Shay Wendy. What a transfer window. But hey, I'm still looking forward to a good season. For my cube up the Chelsea indeed. We're gonna have a very, very good season. We have a very good squad, a squad that's much better, a squad that's much better than the squad we had the season before. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. Give me a second here. Oh shoot! I just spilled coffee. Dang it, and it's hot. What a fudge! That is Vic's fault. And here's the big problem here. The central power area is plugged to the floor, and the coffee is all on the floor. So I risk electric shocking me here. So just give me 1 second. Holy Tomolika, that is serious. Give me 1 second. Let me take care of this. So I need something to soak up this so it doesn't connect it to the electric outlet down here. Give me 1 second, guys. Holy Tomolika, this is serious. Give me 1 second, please. Let me see. What do I do now? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use this blanket that I usually use for my feet if the AC is too hot. So if electric starts shocking me here, better do something. All right, but I think I'll be all right. But holy tamolika, this is serious. Spilled the entire coffee, and I needed it because I was tired. Okay, we're good. Let's see. What else do we have here? I hope the keyboard still won't stop working. All right. But thank you, Shay Wendy Williams. What else do we have here? It's been a while. It's kept me tracks. Yeah. And I do remember your name. It's been a minute. How have you been? Hopefully, your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, we're happy for you because we understand bills don't pay themselves. Hi to you, to Lusula. Lusula, I do hope you're doing well. So let's hear you, all of you in the live chat session, your rating of the transfer window, the hits and misses. Let's hear you. And don't worry, I'm good. Eden, thank you so much for caring. I appreciate that. At least we have upgraded. Yeah, it's again in some areas we've upgraded. Uh, rich money makers. I am good, except some of the mails that I brought in. Mails I brought in today that I haven't opened or read, but yeah, majority bills anyway. So I think probably not gonna be able to read them. All right, let's see what else we have here. Yeah, maybe. Okay, now the greatest question: how to protect João Pedro so that he does not get injured. I think we'll be all right. Morgi is back. I think next game we can just have. I think we'll be all right. Really. Remember, Pedro Neto can also play as a 9. And you also have to remember Tyrique George's proposed move to Fulham did fall through. So which means he stays and he's a good number 9. I don't think we're good actually. We're much better than we were last season, much stronger. Could have been better, but I'm not complaining. Honestly, why are you drinking coffee in an It's not. Texas hasn't become chilled yet. No. No. Texas not chilly quite yet. No, not yet actually. It would take a lot would be a lot. And the coffee is because I was tired and needed it to just, to wake up. No, all good. All good. It was it's hot but not that hot anyway. All right, what else do we have here? This here reads Angel Panassia, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. It says, hello, I just watched, you just watched Facundo, and it's amazing how good he looks, and with his age, Premier League experience looks really, really promising. I think that's actually an excellent business by Chelsea. Underrated. And if it makes you feel happy, why do you think Brighton weren't ready to sell him on a permanent? Because we wanted to sign him on a permanent. Yes, cross X, yes, probably because you use all caps. And the stuff that deleted your message, not a human being, but the AI that polices the chat. So sorry about that, okay? A good signing, honestly. But was he again? He was the one. Yeah. No, not Facundo. We didn't sign Facundo. Where am I? Am I missing something here? Looks like I'm missing net. Yeah, yeah, good signing. This really hurts. Give me a chance. Bonanote, I know him by Bonanote. Yeah, I hardly ever mention his first name. A good, excellent signing actually. Although unknown, we wanted him on a permanent. Brighton didn't want to sell him on a permanent. Why? Easy to answer. They know his talent. They didn't want to sell him on a permanent to Chelsea. But I think we also the deal is structured in a manner that because we give him the platform to develop, we also made sure that we get something in return. And I think that's something to the effect of us having the right to the first refusal. So after the loan deal, if any club wants him and they put in a bid, if we can match that amount, he'd be our player. So not a bad deal. So we made sure we're getting something out of the deal. You understand? So for me, not a bad deal. His Premier League experience is good. I I give the club credit, honestly, for pulling off that one. I know a lot of people don't. And we have Escape Me Tracks, bro. Big up to you. What, aren't you a member of the panelist group?
Yeah, I am. I am. Or should I say I was?
Did I
It's been a while.
forget to add you there? Or that might have been the case. Because we did recreate the group. We had issues, so I had to recreate the group, and probably maybe didn't remember to add you. But how are you doing? I do hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I've been well, I've had like this what happens when you're a father, you hardly get time for yourself, trying to maneuver between fatherhood and work. So
I mean,
it's
family
not
comes
easy.
first.
Yeah, family comes first. But I do watch your videos though. Sometimes I go to work and because of the time difference, when I go to work I play back and watch your videos because I work in a factory, so
Ooh,
mostly I
okay,
just
okay.
to kill time. I just watch your videos. Like I watch the
Much
video like
appreciated.
playback.
Much appreciated. And but you changed your name on X. Your name wasn't Hakim.
Yeah, my yeah. I changed my name on X.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, who's this?" And I looked. The picture made me realize that's actually my guy here. But go
Yeah, it's
ahead.
been a
Your
while.
thoughts on the transfer window? How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? The hits and misses from you. Let's go the rating first, and then we'll talk about the hits
Uh,
and misses.
yeah. To be sincere, for me, I'm going to give them 8 because it's better than last season, and we regardless of what people are going to say, the people that you want to come to the team, like it could Xavi Simons and all of those things, like you can see improvement. You can see that we are performing, and then we are seeing results. So it shouldn't. You could get all the big players, all the fancy names and all the big players that you want to come to the team, but when there's no coordination or when there's no understanding, I don't know how you're going to rate that. Even if you bring a players like who haven't played football before and they come on the pitch and they are performing,
Mhm.
we have to give them credit. So for me, I'm going to give them 8, but we can do better.
I mean, it could have been better, but it's not bad. We finished again. We're much stronger than we were last season. We
Yeah,
have two good players, at least two good players in every position:
of
left
course.
centre back, right centre back, central centre back, left wing, right wing, tens. I think we're good, honestly, but could have been better. I would have loved us to sign Xavi Simons, but I've always known that if we end up not being able to get the deal across the line, it will not be the end of the world. Really, even he probably could argue, realize that he's not coming to Chelsea to be a starter. But I think he'd probably get a chance to be a starter had he joined. But I think for some reason, the fact that we didn't even make an official bid tells me he was never a priority.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand is I don't understand these. I don't understand them. Like the way they handle the transfer sometimes is when you think about it, there's no way you can understand how they think, how they handle the transfers. Like let's take Mohamed Kudus. Let's especially someone like Xavi Simons. They've been following this guy for I think 2 years or for I think 3 months or 2 months. They've been in conversation with him, and because of Chelsea, he you could tell he really wanted to come to Chelsea. So because of Chelsea, he ignored like a contract from other teams like Bayern Munich, and finally, you know, Spurs just came and swooped him up, and so this is one thing that I can't understand how they handle their transfers. Because if they want a player, they do go for him. Like Gittins, they went for him without any delay. They went for Garnacho, which we don't even need. We don't need Gittins, and Gittins is not even like a middle mover. We do need Gittins, but he's not like a middle mover. Garnacho is not a needle mover. The only position that I think like we need someone at this moment is the it's like a ball progressing midfielder like Xavi Simons. So I also wanted him back. What can you say? These people they have their own plans and they always go with what they want.
Yes, then I think it's a matter of opinion. I think we need Ganacho. We also do need Gittins. You could argue some are questioning the signing of Gittins, given you can say he's a bit somewhat shaky start to life as a Chelsea player. Ganacho brings grit, on pitch attitude, experience. He's just 21, but he has Premier League experience. And Ganacho will be excellent for us when we hit teams on the break. And if you paid attention, we finished the season as one of the most counter-attacking teams. I know a lot of people don't give the manager credit. They think that he's a one-trick pony, not realizing that actually we play in different ways. But here's the thing, time will tell. As I said, it's a matter of opinion. I think both players, excellent signings for us. I've seen a lot of people say, yeah, Gittins, we shouldn't have signed him. We don't need him. Now he's another Madueke. No, I think he's much better than Madueke. And they say numbers
No,
don't lie.
no, no,
He finished
no.
the 24-25 season as one of the top dribblers. Top 1%.
Yeah, but
He scores
I don't
goals. He
think.
can also create, puts the
Yeah,
ball
but
into the box with intent than Madueke does when they're on the carpet or in the air. Even Ganacho. I think in the case of Ganacho, as I've said before, I think the attitude issue, perceived attitude issue, crowds people's judgment to an extent. They're not able to look beyond that and look at Ganacho as a footballer, not not as if they are, how as I phrase it, not
yeah,
judge
but
him
I
by the
I am
behavior of
funny.
his 16-year-old brother on social media. That has
Yeah,
led to
I
them not being able to actually look at things from a footballing perspective. But go ahead.
Yeah, I, for instance, have no issue with Garnacho. For me, I believe at this moment in football history, the most toxic place that you could be as a football player is Manchester United. And
That's an excellent point, by the way. And
yeah,
here's the thing: there are a lot of evidence to back up that what you've just said. There's the Englishman who now plays for Barcelona, Marcus Rashford. There's also
yeah,
Anthony. There are a few
yeah.
of them. I think about six names. So it's
All
been
of
quite
even
toxic.
Sancho, when Sancho came to Chelsea, he was
Exactly.
performing.
So it's been quite toxic over there.
Yeah,
And what they've been doing for years now is finger point. Find certain players to blame for the clubs, or you can say for the club not doing well. But go ahead, what
yeah.
you're saying, because we have
Just
Cyril
imagine.
in the house, and he's making his debut on the panel today. I
They didn't
appreciate
even
it so
spare
much.
Ronaldo, so you could
Yeah, go ahead.
imagine.
Yeah, there was also Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't even spare Cristiano Ronaldo, which he was their legend. So for me, for Garnacho, I don't really have time. I don't really have anything negative to say to him. I hope, like he show us what he can do, like, and then it's a rivalry thing. When if you buy a player from a rivalry team and then he comes to your team and then he's performing, it also gives us some sort of bragging rights. So for me, for Garnacho, I don't have any issue with him, but uh, I hope he just come and then um, make changes, start performing. This is what I'm hoping for him because he's our
No, I
player.
think he will
If you don't
perform.
like him, what are you gonna do? If you don't like him, he's either going to be, if you are hoping bad for him, he's going to be a liability. So the better you start supporting him and backing him, the better. So I
Yeah,
don't understand why some people have a lot of okay, you have things to say about him. Now he's your player. Are you still going to continue to say negative things about him? It doesn't make sense. So for me, it's time for us to show our support and then hopefully he perform at Chelsea. So for me, I don't have anything bad to say about the
yeah,
Ganacho.
I do think he will perform well. I do think he will do well, but I understand. But before I bring in Steve, Tony Sewell, I will give the microphone back to those in the live chat session. Catch up with a bit of what they have to say, then come back to the panel, and we'll hear from Steve. Let's hear him rate the market, and escape me. I haven't heard you talk about the hits and misses, or maybe you've done, or maybe you presented it in a different manner and I wasn't paying attention, but I'll come back to you in a bit. Yeah, Facundo, excellent signing for us, in my opinion. Underrated signing. Can I ask a favor? Okay, let's hear you. Can I roast you? Okay, grateful. You're not complaining. Great. What is your idea about? He's an excellent player, honestly. Um, Premier League experience for his age. I think he'd do well. I don't think we would have gone for him had it not been. You can say without a total agreement, without an agreement with the manager,
Coach, can
the
I say
scouts.
something? Can I
Yeah,
say
go ahead.
something a second? Just a second. If it's something that we have to learn, we really have to.
We cannot hear you. Looks like you lost your audio. It looks like you lost your audio. Sorry about that. And we have. Why did you sell Nani Madueke? Nani Madueke wanted to leave. The manager liked him so much that even when he stinks up the pitch, he stays for 19 minutes. Yeah, that was the reason why I deleted your messages. Inobem said, okay, for Eno, eat them. The Heat are João Pedro, Estêvão, Essugo, rate him highly. Delap, good price. Mises, getting a solid goalkeeper, not getting my dream CB Bastoni, not selling the Sissi Starlin, and letting Jackson go. We have to. He wanted to leave. We had to. We didn't want to sell him, but he wanted to leave. We had to let him go. But that's a good one there. I like your own. João Pedro was great. Cross X, yep, true. And also, congrats on the Club World Cup. Thank you. I appreciate you. Meso Tunes says, do you think Starlin should be given a final chance? I don't think he gets that chance. It's not even, it doesn't look as if he's taking good care of himself, actually. He doesn't look fit. It doesn't, you don't see that hunger in him. I think to him, you could argue to a certain measure he's trying to get back at the club for his perceived ill treatment. And Lucilla said, I'm happy with the acquisition of Hato to help Marco Correa, but at this, as it stands, I wish a Pedro Neto who can also play at any position up front stays fit. Also, Barnanote has a Premier League experience and a good player. And I'm going to say this again: if it makes you happy, ask yourself why Brighton, why weren't they ready to let him go on a permanent? Because we wanted to sign him on a permanent. Is it possible for Ganacho to play inside? I don't know. I think he stays on the flanks mainly. The best way to protect João Pedro now that also is that that also Palmer is. I think Palmer will be back by the time the international break. It's true. Is to play Santos as a 10 or even Enzo Fernandez. Um, when Maresca said that he sees Santos as a 10, I didn't really believe that. Maybe even if he does see him as a 10, I think he would tell a what it would take a while before he notches him into becoming the sort of 10 that he's notched in Enzo Maresca into. If Enzo Fernandez. I think it would take time. It's not something that will happen easily. And EJ Santiago, I'm glad Mark Gui gets a chance. Mike Gee, I can't quite pronounce his last name correctly. Mark Gee. But I think he gets a chance. He
It's
was
my
unlucky.
it's my goo.
Gui, okay.
Yeah, my
He
goo.
was unlucky. Again, he got injured the same game that Nicholas Jackson got injured last season. He could have, again, had enough opportunity to show that, yeah, he should be starting games. He was excellent. Our top scorer in Europe. Yeah, Maresca was Arsenal's best player, but he hasn't improved. He keeps running into walls. That's his thing. But I'm not saying that he will eventually now become a better player. Two things Maresca needs to do to become much better: be a little less selfish, be a little more selfless. He becomes a better player. Chelsea wanted him to stay. The manager loved him so much. I'm repeating myself that he stayed on the pitch in games that, yeah, definitely he shouldn't have played it up to 60 minutes. I wanted to call on Tony Sewell to speak, but yeah, it looks like he has a poor connection wherever he is. That hasn't helped. Comes in and goes out. Okay, Mark Gill. Mark Gee. Okay, Mark Gee. Thank you for that lesson. I appreciate that. Pedro Granja, nice to see you all. I hope you're doing well. So the Sassi stain could end up, yeah, being a blessing in disguise. You never know. But he stays. Let's see what happens. But he could still join the Turkish club or maybe go to Saudi Arabia. All right, 36 likes. We still have 40 people following the show on YouTube. We can do a lot better than 36 likes. We have Tony Sewell in the house. Tony, big up to you. Your thoughts, your rating of the window. And if you want to also speak about the misses and the hits, let's hear you. Are you there, Tony? All right, I'm going to continue speaking when he's ready to speak. He can come in. Just call him Mark Jew. Okay. Oh, okay. But thank you for that. And you're Spanish too, or maybe you speak Spanish at least. So this here reads Ben Chilwell has left Chelsea and completed a permanent move to RC Strasbourg. I mean, he didn't have to accept that move. But he's a consummate professional and he doesn't want to do anything that you could argue that will ruin his legacy as Chelsea legacy. I think he's respected. The fans love him. Didn't make a fuss when he was again when he was told, yeah, that he's surplus to requirement. Hardly ever complains. I respect him, but I knew at the moment we hired Enzo Maresca that, yeah, that's it for him at Chelsea. But I'm happy he accepted. He's accepted to go out to join Strasbourg on a permanent.
But coach, do you remember there was a time that they like he had opportunity to leave, and Maresca made it clear that he's not in his plans. But then he refused to go. He said he wanted to stay to win his place.
But
So
maybe
I
he
think
meant it. But thank you for bringing that up. I do remember. Maybe he meant it. Maybe he thought he'd get the chance to prove that, yeah, he should still like he still has a lot to offer. But I still respect him because, yeah, he doesn't have to accept to move to Strasbourg. But I get you. It's a good thing you mentioned that. That isn't good actually. That I remember and not good. But go ahead, Tony, if you're ready to speak.
Yeah, so sorry. I don't
Yeah,
think
big up,
this.
big up, big up. No worries.
Hey,
Thank you
how's
for
it going,
joining.
everyone? Yeah, these. I don't think this platform likes my AirPods very much.
Oh,
So I am actually having to
can you get
barbecue
a little
right
bit
now.
closer to your mic?
Yes, I'm actually having to barbecue right now. So
Oh, yo.
yeah, very enjoyable. But I'm not the best multitasker. So anyway, here I am. We're good. We're good to go. I missed everything. So you want to fill me in?
No, that's just your rating. How would you rate the transfer window on a scale
Oh
of 1 to
yes,
10? And
one
for
to
you,
10.
the hits and the misses.
Yeah. Oh, I've been thinking about that all day, man. I would say out of 10, I think it's a firm 7 out of 10 for me.
A 7 for you.
Um, yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people, we talked about this, the the online community, when I kind of peek in on them, a lot of them are really frustrated, and I think that they really want that dopamine hit that we've all talked about, and
Hmm.
it is frustrating. Like, I think back to, I mean, I'm sure everyone here remembers when we were just hanging on every word of Fab, waiting for him to announce Enzo Fernandez. You know what I mean, at the buzzer, and so we all want that feeling. I think every window, and it doesn't happen. But we have to think back. Like, we started nailing some pretty much needed targets right before the Club World Cup, and as it was going on, I mean, João
Yeah,
Pedro just
we
came
were
in.
proactive.
Yes, João Pedro came in and helped us win that. I don't know that who knows if we make it to the final without him, with his brace in that one match. I forget who it's against, but just obviously we've talked about him to the nth degree. Incredible signing. But I mean, even Delap, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Colwell's injured, but I mean, people just keep writing off even the boys we got last year. We had to let Estêvão stay with his club for a year. We had to, who was it? We got, we had Andre Santos, but we had to loan him out. I mean, but these are like fresh signings for us, and even though they weren't quote unquote signed this window, I mean, they are now fully accessible to us. So for me, they're like a fresh signing, so maybe put an asterisk next to their name. But if you look at all of our business, very, very, very solid. I think those are the hits for sure. And for me, the misses are, you know, I made a joke yesterday in the comments, like, what do you think we missed out on? And don't say the goalkeeper. Like, I still think we all would feel a little bit more comfortable if we had gotten, I don't know, at least someone good enough to put a real fire behind Sanchez at the very least, let
Hmm.
alone, um, in my dreams, a world class keeper. I don't know who that would be. I don't know if Diogo Costa is Maresca's profile keeper
In terms
necessarily,
of
but
ball playing ability, maybe not.
yeah. But I mean, so other than that, I don't know that there were a lot of good options out there. I looked at some stats, and I mean, like, I think in some stats, like, as far as saves though, like, Sanchez had better save percentages than it was either Donnarumma or Maignan this past year. I saw somebody kind of break that down on
I
a
would rather
metrics
we
kind of
stick
software.
with Sanchez than Donnarumma. He's
Hmm.
not.
Right. But so anyway, just to not to ramble, so, like, that's one that I wanted before the window even closed. I mean, I think Sanchez kind of, I guess, redeemed himself toward the end there, and but I mean, I think we all look at him and think, oh, there's still some shaky moments that kind of make us nervous. Like, is he the guy long term? I don't know. So that's a huge question mark. Um, Maybe a defender, but I mean, if Colwell never gets injured, are we freaking out? It's just the problem is that Fofana and um, Badiashile, like, they can't stay fit. That's the problem. I'd be totally fine with our depth if I thought those guys could get off the physio table for 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But it's constant, and so that makes me nervous. And hindsight, of course, but when Colwell goes down, you start sweating a little bit, and you're like, okay, I kind of see why Maresca wants another center back. But then you get a really good quality one, and Colwell gets back to match fitness. I mean, does that stunt his development? Because if you have to shell out money for a really good keeper to take his place, you think that guy's going to sit now? No. So that causes a problem, and but I think the main miss for me was the striker, and I don't think that's hindsight. I think all along, just with all the competitions coming up, I really wanted three strikers. If they kept either Guiu or Jackson, either one, and just never went through all this, and planned ahead and said, hey, we need at least three, and just, if you need Jackson's money, send him. If you need Guiu's development more, send him. Right. But, like, now that we sent them both out, you created this big
No,
debacle.
G's coming back. You know,
No,
right?
no, no. I know. But I'm saying, like, before, like, I wish there would have been a contingency plan in the beginning before we sent Guillou on loan, before we sent Jack. I'm glad we could call him back, but I just think that if we thought through it and said, hey, if one striker goes down, we're in big trouble. Then we don't have this whole hullabaloo with Jackson, and or maybe Guiu stays and we don't have to call him back. But instead, we almost called two people back because I just don't think we planned that well. So I'm glad Guiu's back. Then the other side of me says, well, okay, if João Pedro goes down, can we rely on Guiu? Is he too raw? Are we going to have to put Pedro Neto in a false nine, which I don't want to do? So things like that. So I'd say a perfect window would be like maybe a keeper, maybe if you want to send both Guiu and Jackson out, maybe a third string striker, and probably that 10 spot, right? Like I hadn't even really thought about Xavi Simons until the club briefed it to all the journalists. And as I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, we could use that. But honestly, before that happened, I thought, man, maybe we're okay. It just depends. But I mean, then they just briefed that early in the summer, and it just drags on all summer long. And then it looks like they pivot to Lopez, and then they don't even go through with that. And it's just like, okay, we have Buonanotte, that's fine. But I'm glad they had an emergency contingency plan. But it's just, yeah, all that to say, I guess I'm kind of nitpicking. Like, that's why it's not a 9 or a 10 out of 10 for me, right? I think there are a couple areas they could have planned a little bit better. But the business we did get in, and oh my God, that's incomings. Outgoings, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, if we could have got Sterling out the door, that would have been great. And it's unfortunate we couldn't,
Yeah, maybe we needed to go see
yeah.
the Pope for that one to happen.
But yeah, I mean, outgoings were phenomenal. Like, and I mean, Chile getting his move, his little redemption arc at the end there, I was very happy for him. So yeah.
I think overall, I think it's still a very good window. And I think I will repeat myself. Yeah, we have a much stronger squad than we had last season. We have at least two
Hmm.
players for each position,
Hmm.
each capable of starting over the other and doing an equally good job or maybe an even better job. But yeah, could have been better.
Yeah,
Could have been
coach.
better. Yeah.
About the striker issue, like for people that says that they want someone better than McGeary. Like you cannot have a third striker like a let's say like a world class third
You can say
striker in your
all top
team.
three
No, it
strikers being, you can say top
no it's
level strikers.
yeah
You could
it's not.
argue, which is the main reason why Jackson is actually bailing. It's
Yeah,
because,
of
yeah,
course, it's not possible.
yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
No striker will agree to come and sit on the bench when he knows that he's a
To
top
be clear, let's
striker.
use the more again a more descriptive language. No established striker would want to come and be competing with
Mhm.
those three strikers, except if they're confident enough. You can say they're the much better striker than the other two. Then they'd come.
Yeah, of course. So the best person that will fit the position is Magui. And also about the defenders, you like Chelsea supporters have to understand that at this point, we as the Chelsea team, the squad, we cannot bring players in the squad right now. We have to take players out before you can bring players in. You understand? So the defenders, you cannot say you are bringing a defender there, even though Fafana is there and is injury pro, or Badishile is also injured. You cannot bring a defender in because we have limited registration issue, where like we have to take some players out of the
We had to,
team.
yeah, we had to, you can say, navigate a complicated set of restrictions. Actually, one from, I think, mainly from UEFA, right? That made
Yeah,
it
from UEFA.
difficult. Yeah, but go ahead.
And how many defenders do we have? I think we have like abundance of defenders, and you cannot ship them out. You understand? And all of them wouldn't allow to, like, you have to register them. Like they've been registered last year under UEFA. So what UEFA is saying that the players that you registered last year, if you have to bring new defenders in, you have to sell them out of your. You have to like either let them go on loan or you sell them, and the defenders are still our players. We have Badishile, we have Fofana, we have limited ability to to solve our squad issue. We have like a limited ability to be able to do all of those things. So I heard people saying that we have to bring these players in. We can't at this moment. We can't.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tony, if you're still there, uh, something that I haven't been able to figure out is okay. Margui comes in now. Clearly, at least from the fans' perspective, he's perceived, seen as the third choice striker. Now, how do we manage that and still ensure that he continues to develop and playing enough as he should be playing and continue to develop? Well, before you come in, let me just catch up with a few of what we have in the comment section here. Let's give them back the microphone here. And Sharif Salam, nice to see you. Lasula says that Chelsea's next game are Brentford, followed by Jackson's Bayern away. An interesting game that would be. Bayern, okay, away at the breach. An interesting game. Is Ederson leaving City? I think I read something to suggest he's on the verge of joining a Turkish club, and City also getting the Noyuma from PSG. Let's see, 7-10. How would Palmer be without Jackson? Did Jackson play in the Club World Cup final? No, I think he'd be all right. It's really that simple. And but that's by the way. And the insider, the reason that your message was deleted because you used more than three emojis. I keep it to three emojis, and Tala, the same thing. Again, with you, do not use all caps except if you're a moderator. And again, let me make this clear. Nightbot is a machine. It's an AI that's policing the chat. It's not a human being, okay? But thank you for the applause. What else do we have here? 20 says, I don't know why Colin Jackson is striker. He was never one, but was converted to one, I think, by Unai Emery. But he's able, I mean, he's not a hybrid striker, to be more specific. He's not, again, the only thing that um he needs to improve. Again, he needs to start shooting instinctively, needs to start being efficient consistently in front of goal and not be Nicolas Anelka today and tomorrow he's Darwin Nunes. That's just that. It doesn't matter whether he was a winger before he became a striker. It doesn't really matter. EJ Santiago says, I was more concerned with a backup effort to Cucu. Yeah, exactly. To Cucurella and a clinical guy. Chelsea got it done with Hato and Pedro. 10 out of 10. CFC have been clean sheeting a lot of teams for a while now. I like that. Yeah. Because before the transfer window opened, people's main concern was a backup for Cucurella and the more clinical finish, and we have those now. Jackson to Bayern, yeah, good luck to him. I hope he does well. Let's see what else we have here. Hi to you too, Ayat. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And Lusula has an update for us. He says, according to the Chelsea website, Garnacho most often played on the left, on the left-hand side of the Red Devils attack, but equally as comfortable on the opposite flank, playing through the middle, but mainly on the flanks. But that's just my opinion anyway. So if you're there, Steve, your thoughts. How do we manage Guy's development and at the same time, yeah, you can say knowing that he's a third choice striker. But let's hear you if you're there. Steve, are you there? But go ahead, Hakeem. You can be speaking as we wait for him to unmute his mic.
You weren't talking to me, were you? Because I'm
Yeah,
Tony.
I was talking to you.
I'm Tony.
Probably
I'm
your the smell of your barbecue.
No. It's my name's, but I'm Tony, not Steve. Sounded
Tony,
like you
sorry,
called me
apologies.
Steve.
You are
So
enjoying
I thought you were
the
referring
aroma
to
of the
someone
barbecue
else.
so much that you don't know when we mean. Okay, you should be able to tell I was referencing. I meant
So
to call
sorry.
you Tony, but by the way, did you hear the question?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay, okay, we know Guy comes back. Mark Jew comes back. I was told to pronounce it that way as the third choice striker. Now the question is, how do we manage that given his age? And at his age, he needs to play to continue developing, not just a few games here and there. I get it. Maresca likes him. Maybe he gets to play a lot. Like, had it not been the fact that he got injured, he was playing a lot, but mainly in Europe, right? In cup games. How do we manage that now? Because, yeah, you could argue the aim for the manager has changed. They've made a few signings for him, which means that they'd be expecting a lot more from him. So how do we manage the expectations? And also, given that, yeah, it's clear he's a third choice striker, and at the same time, cater for his development as a young player. I think it's not gonna be easy. I suspect that probably January comes around, he lives on loan again. We buy another striker more experienced than him. But let's hear you.
Well, I to clarify earlier too, like I honestly I think I rate Guiu higher than a lot of people. I like the look of him. I like his build. I think he's physical. He makes really intelligent runs. He's not afraid. To be a bit of a bully up front, like Delap. They're kind of similar. They're kind of really that
Yeah,
traditional
in
nine
terms
kind
of
of mold.
yeah,
So if you were gonna have, albeit not the most ideal, but a profile to replace Delap, I mean, and you need that profile. Like he's more suited to replace Delap than Jackson, even though Jackson's offensive output might have been higher. But yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I keep going back and forth on this. I'm just like, um, he would have been my. I don't know. I would have liked to probably keep Jackson as third choice, but obviously he doesn't want that. But in an ideal world, that would have been what I wanted. But he wants to be higher in the pecking order, and that's understandable. And so therefore, I would want Guiu as third choice. I mean, the problem is that is the lab supposed to get another scan, right? Like sometime this week to find out if it's
but
even
from
worse
everything
than we
we've heard,
thought.
it's not looking good. Had Dante been on the panel, he understands the categories of the injury of the. Uh, but it does say at least 3 months or something. I'm not sure, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Well, I mean, God, that is just a long time. So I'm trying to math here. It's been a long day. So that's see all of September, all of October. So are we thinking that so if it was 3 months, I guess he'd be back in December, and then he has a few weeks to get match fit. Delap, that
Probably not
is.
going to be fully fit in December.
No. So I mean, I don't know. It would be nice to get Guiu back on loan, perhaps, or maybe he's killing it. Maybe he comes in cup games, and he has an even better supporting cast around him now than even he did, when with our Conference League squad. And maybe he starts killing it, and we're like, okay, you can stick around. Like we could use you. Are you okay with that? And
No, but
he's
what I think is that even if Delap comes back, I don't think they will make the same mistake and let you go on loan
no,
because
no way.
they've learned their own they've learned their mistake from what just happened.
Right, right. No way, no way. I don't think they do either. Uh, but unless like the other thing I was about to say is unless they go back to the market because he's still just too raw, and they look at I can't remember the name of the guy they were looking at today that ended up going to Leipzig, I think, but they were looking at him.
Is
Was
it
it no? Am I getting confused? No, that was
Sporting
it.
CP kid that we heard didn't want
Perhaps,
to come
yeah.
to us because he feels like he'd be better off remaining at
Right. What
Sporting
was that a
CP?
man? There's just been so much transfer stuff today. Like, was he a striker or no? Was that a different position?
Yeah, he is a striker, but I'll
So,
choose
so, so
Gil
my
over him any day.
yeah, yeah. But my thing is like, maybe we go back? I don't know. Maybe we go back to the market. It was like Guiu's good, but he's still too raw, and maybe we find one of those young guys because we're really big on stats, right? Like we
But
we we depend on those stats, and we look at the
Hmm.
stats, and we're like, hey, we like the look of this guy. We could develop him, and maybe we send Guiu on loan and get another guy. But I don't know. Is that a waste
should
of
I tell you
money?
guys the reason why they also called Gil back on loan?
Why?
Because of the
Yeah.
registration issue. He's the only one that we can bring in without moving any needle because he is there with us. He's registered with the squad last season because of the registration issue. So if they have to bring a new player, which means they have to sell another player. So
The
Oh, and
safest
you know, in
decision
Gu's
is
case, but you know he's gonna be cup tied, right?
who?
Guy, Mark Jew will be
Yeah,
cup
but
tied.
EFL is not that important.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, more importantly, I think we have the cover we need, and he gets to play too because Maresca likes him. He's a typical Maresca striker, given the fact he can press and press effectively.
Yeah, and even
And
in Sunderland, the funny thing is that he only played the EFL Cup. He only had like a 13 minutes of all the three Premier League games that he played. So they also look after that. They were like, man, you just came back from, and he those games were team who are battling who are like relegational teams, West Ham's and I think Burnley, some teams. So the Chelsea is like, listen, if you couldn't get uh like playing time playing these teams, we don't think you are going to get like a playing time to develop playing the bigger teams. So they also made that also add up the decision why they brought him back.
I'm just happy he's back. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
me too. I'm
think
just happy that he's back.
hopefully he gets to play enough to continue developing. Yeah, because
So
he's
just to clarify,
Mhm.
he's cup tied from which competitions?
EFL Cup.
The
Okay,
Not
Carling
that
that's
much
Cup,
of
the
an
before
issue,
Carling
though.
Cup,
that's the only one though. We could still use him in Champions League, and we could still
and
use him
Yeah,
in
FA
the FA
Cups,
Cup.
and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
So
mean, great. So now we just have to, I don't know, burn sage, do a rain dance, something, and just pray to God that João Pedro doesn't get injured. Because I mean, then I don't even want to say it, man. I hope I didn't jinx it. But I mean, if João Pedro stays fit and he is as durable as he has looked to be, right, and he can handle the brunt of the load, like we can just get by, I think, fine until Delap gets back, especially with the other attackers we've gotten. I mean, there are more goals in that final third for us now, are there
yeah,
not?
a
So
lot.
yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
my thoughts. I mean, I think it's the best thing we could have done given our situation. That's really my ultimate feeling on it. I'm just glad that we recalled him and didn't create just a really. We could have tainted the dressing room making Jackson stay. You know what I mean? I think this was the better call.
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks so much. I appreciate that. Let's give the microphone back to those in the chat. Chelsea have to learn to kill games early, and whenever it happens, take João Pedro off. I think that's going to be a helpful, you can say strategy, but it's not that easy. But I think if we're winning and winning comfortably, and the manager sees a path to the game ending with us again winning, I think he'd take him off and not risk it too much. How many years? 2 years left. 2027. I had to look it up because I saw your comment, so I had to look it up quickly to show I was again. I'm ready to answer your question. Lasula Stalin has two more. Yeah, somebody answered there. Eventually, Estêvão will start scoring goals. Eventually, he will create. He will score. And he's surprised a lot of people. His start to life as a Chelsea player better than a lot of people believed it be. They've seen that he can be physical, which I tried to explain to Bobby at the time that Estevão can actually be very physical. And I
He's
used
from the Brazilian league.
yeah, exactly. A tough league actually. I don't know why people underrate
Yeah,
the Brasileiro,
those
as
guys are
how you
crazy
pronounce it.
there.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I think we all learned how physical that league was during the Club World
Yeah,
Cup. I think we slept on them way too much.
yeah. Let's go looking for whether anything new has emerged because perhaps chances are the Sassi decides, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Turkey. Raheem Sterling could have switched to Saudi Arabia previously if money was the priority. The Saudi window will remain open until September 23, but Sterling has no desire to move there this season. He has the money, except if if he want to become even richer, make generational wealth, maybe he goes to Saudi. But Fulham were interested, and he comes across as a sort of player, he's just bent on getting back at Chelsea for his perceived ill treatment. I'm not sure how else to say that, but this is good. Even again, we're not. That doesn't mean we'll become a selling club, but it's something that a lot of clubs have to do now. because football has changed from a financial perspective. Even if you have $10 billion, you're not allowed to spend as much. If you have $1 trillion, you're not allowed to spend as just the way you want. There are limits to how much you can spend. So this reads Chelsea become the first Premier League club to ever bank over £300 million from player sales. It's a new record. That's a lot.
Yeah.
215 Chelsea also 2023. Chelsea also with a record in 170 in 2024. So yeah, we appear in the chat 3 times, but I think it helps us balance the books. And the good thing is that we're not open to selling our our best players. We only sell players that want to leave. The Sazi wanted to move back. I think we've addressed that one too. Ben Chilwell, I'm happy. I respect him for that. Not easy. We've addressed that one. So I think it's about time we go news hunting. And I'm going to refresh this page to see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. And I don't know, Hakeem, anything else you want to talk about why we wait to see if anything new emerged as the show progressed?
Yeah, I also want to talk about the defenders. Like, I'm sick and tired of Chelsea supporters not giving our defenders the prompt, because when I see people saying that we still need defenders, like world class defenders, it's
Just
like,
go ahead. Go ahead. Keep speaking. I'll be back in a few seconds.
yeah, when I see people talking about saying that we need a world class defenders, like what defenders are in the market right now that are better than the defenders that we have? This is what I don't understand. I keep on hearing people say that, oh, we need a new set of defenders to win the league. For me, when you take Chalaba, when you take Cucurella, like I don't see any better left back than Cucurella. I don't see any better left back than Rhys James, right back than Rhys James. And even talking about Gusto, at this moment, Gusto is performing. And Tosin is also performing at the highest level. Chalaba also performing at the highest level. And when you watch Chelsea squad right now, our defenders are the most performing, like are the most consistent defenders from the end of last season and this season. So, what kind of defenders do you want? If you put Chalaba down, you put Konate down. I wouldn't pick Konate over Chalaba at this moment. It's only one defender that I would say I'll pick over Chalaba, which is um, Van, the Liverpool defender. He's the only player that I would say okay. But compare the other to the extent that I see people saying that they want this Crystal Palace defender, the former Chelsea defender, um they want him over Chalaba. I don't understand Chelsea supporters sometimes how they like they don't support as soon as like there's a little um pe- performance issue with our players, then we started writing them off. So for me, the defender issue, like we don't have any issue with our defenders. Our defenders are perfect the way they are. The only thing that I'm going to say, even our keeper at this moment is performing. So if our players are performing the same way we call them out when they weren't performing, if they are performing, let's just also give them the thumbs up. People have been talking about the goalkeeper since last season. But at the end of last season till now, he's performing. Okay, let's just give him a chance. I don't think he's going to be at Chelsea for let's say in 3 seasons or 4 seasons. I think this will be his last season. Maybe by next season they are going to get a new goalkeeper. But he's performing, like he's doing what goalkeeper should do. Like so I don't understand why people keep on saying we need more defenders, we need to change the goalkeeper when everyone is performing at this moment. We all talked about it when they weren't performing, but if they are performing, let's just also back them up. So
Yeah, I'm totally with you about the defenders. I absolutely agree, and I've actually been thinking about that because I just Colwell, Chalaba, and especially I think Tosin too are just so underrated, and I think that a lot of our fan base, they listen to the pundits.
I
They
was
listen.
guilty of underrating Colwell, but I have to be honest. I
Yeah.
rate him, but my concern at the time was that he wasn't ready. Needs again, has a lot of aspects of his game that he needed to work on to
Hmm.
get better. But he surprised me. But go ahead, what you
Yeah.
were saying.
No, I just said,
So we're
you
not
know,
we're still friends, right? Even though I didn't rate him, right?
No, it's okay. It's okay when a player is not performing. Of course, you have to call them out. But when they are performing, we just have to put our ego aside and
Yeah.
then say it as it
Let's
is.
let's hear you, Tony.
no, well, I was just saying that they get out, they hear these pundits, and I can't tell you how many people said, and keep in mind this is before Colwell went down, and this is while he's performing at the Club World Cup. I cannot tell you how many people I heard say,
He got an
"Oh,
assist, right?
oh, yeah." Well, it's just, Chelsea are just. I think if they just had just one more world class center back, I think they'd be right there in the talk for the title. And it's just like, what do you mean? Like at the time we still had Colwill and Chalaba and Tosin, who's fighting with competing with those guys to get a place. I mean, and then Batty and Shill went down for a little bit. Fofana, who knows about them, but we're deep, but they were still saying that. So I think now that Colwell is down, I think people are freaking out a little bit. But if Batty Shield gets fit and he stays fit, I think we're fine. And that unit back there has been working so well. Like
Yeah.
honestly, yeah. I mean, Sanchez, he has those mistakes in his game. He has those jittery moments. He doesn't. He has gotten far more consistent, but you can still see him, and like I can just look in his eyes sometimes, and he makes me nervous. But what I'm trying to say is like, the supporting cast that he has in front of him now, and the I don't know, just that how in sync the defenders are in front of him now, and how they're really developing a partnership between one another. I think that's gone a long way to, whether it's just papering over the cracks and making him look better, or maybe he just feels more comfortable with them, and then he starts playing better, so they feel more comfortable with him. Something's working back there, though, and his game is rising. And if that's up to him, great. But you know what? If that's up to Colwill and Chalaba and Tosin all, jiving together, and that's helping him, and he doesn't have to deal with as much craziness at the back and as much chaos, and he has more room to breathe, then I'm happy for that too, but whatever it is working right now. I'm just, again, like, if I'm just crossing my fingers. Like if something happens to, as long as João Pedro is fine, and as long as, Chalaba and Tosin stay fit, I mean, we're golden. But,
I do think we'll
I
be all
just hope
right.
nobody goes down before the other injured come back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. And by the way, Tony, before I forget, something came to mind. Maybe we'll arrange a studio show. We'll arrange for the camera, your group. It'll be more like a question and answer session. But I have to operate from my studio. But we'll figure out the distance, but whether we can make it an in-person thing. But something we'll talk about behind the
Okay.
scenes.
And on that note, I don't mean to just keep talking, but actually, I think you said you're in America, but I am. It's a holiday here. I have a barbecue. I have people showing up to this barbecue, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and hop off.
no,
But
no, enjoy. I
yeah.
hope you're good at it. Don't burn it.
Oh no, we have steak and we have chicken. We're ready to roll. We're
All
good.
right, enjoy yourself, brother. Talk to you later.
Yeah. But thanks for having me. Cheers, everybody. And if I can get back on later, I will. But I'll keep listening in my ear. But yeah, cheers, everybody. Have a good evening. Appreciate
All
your
right, you
time.
too.
Same to you, bro.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right. That was Tony Sewell. Did find time to join us on the panel. I hope I'm not butchering his last name. And 2324 here says apart from Flamingo game that we considered 3 goals, we have been doing well lately. Yeah, and you could argue that game was also to some extent a blessing in disguise. It meant that we didn't have to meet the stronger teams in in the competition at the time. But it doesn't. I think we're good. We've signed in. Had we signed another defender, I think we'd be much better already prepared going into the season. But that doesn't mean we're bad. We're good, actually. I think we have a good enough squad. more of a unity than we were under Mauricio Pochettino, and we can only get better. So I don't know, Hakeem, anything else you want to talk about? And by the way, I've added you back to the group again. So probably after the group was recreated, I forgot to add you again. But I did tell people at the time if they were interested in joining the new group, they should send me a message, and probably didn't get one from you. But I've added you anyway. Anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day?
Yo, for me, um, I didn't get any platform to say this, but for me, I believe Chelsea at this moment, like we cannot wait and be like a um to say like I don't know when or what shows that this squad is ready to be like a title winning squad. For me, I believe this squad is ready. Is a Premier League winning squad. So for me, how I'm predicting the how the season is going to go, I believe like we have a strong case when it comes to winning the Premier League. So when I look from the goalkeeper, how the goalkeeper is performing, from the defenders to the midfield and the striker, I think we are kind of 80% complete when it comes to winning a Premier League. Because when you watch Manchester City, they are not that scary. Liverpool are not that scary, even though they are winning their games. When you watch Arsenal, they are not scary either. For Tottenham, we don't need to mention their names. So at this moment, I don't know how people see Chelsea, especially when it also comes to the pundits, how they judge um Chelsea. Because I heard last time one man that I don't want to mention his name, he doesn't deserve his name to be mentioned. He said Chelsea wouldn't even qualify from the group stages when it comes in the
Oh
Champions
yeah,
League.
that man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
this is madness. Like
Mhm.
which team is performing at this level, like at this moment in the Premier League, better than Chelsea? When you even though like our last game was kind of iffy, but when you compare, I've been watching the Premier League games because I had an accident, a little bit of an accident, so I was at home. There's nothing that I was doing, and I was watching all the games. And to tell you the truth, one team that I don't see any team, you know, out. I'm not scared of any team in the Premier League right now when it comes to Chelsea versus the other teams. I'm not scared of any football team in the Premier League right now. So for me, my confidence level is off the roof. So I don't care
And
what anyone
would
going
it
to
be right
say
to
for
say
me.
that the manager's tactical ability is one of the reasons of why your confidence level has gone up?
It's about the manager and also the environment, like the atmosphere that I'm seeing. It's like I'm seeing some atmosphere. When Pochettino was in charge of Chelsea, if if we concede goals, I know there's no way we are going to equalize. But with this manager, with this team, even if we have like a 4-0 down, I have confidence that we can equalize. So this is what like it has built in me. So if I have this kind of um mentality to Chelsea, like if I think this way when it comes to Chelsea, what why shouldn't I think that we are going to win the league? So of course, like for me, I believe we have a strong case when it comes to winning the league this season. So for me, this is my expectation. Like my expectation this season is for us to win the league, and I hope other Chelsea fans will also have the same expectation. Because enough for about 3 seasons, we are building, we are building. How when are we going to build to be ready to build to win the league if it's not this season? And also, winning a league is not only your performance; it's also the other team performance and preparation. I believe we prepared really well, and
Uh,
our performance shows that we are contenders when it comes to the league. Because when you watch Manchester City, I cannot wait to play against them. When it comes to Liverpool, I can't also wait to play against anyone. So I believe like this is what I'm thinking. I know that I believe we are going to win this league this season.
yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and glad to hear that your confidence level has gone up. And the manager, partly the main reason that's the case. And then for me, both 50-50, the players, the squad quality, and also the manager who's proven that he's an excellent tactician, irrespective of what anybody thinks of him. I just want to say thank you to you. And quickly, I want to ask, you did say you were involved in an accident, but since you're on the panel here, I'm guessing I mean, you came out of it fine. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I had an issue with my shoulder. I live in the countryside. We moved to the countryside, so I was out biking, tried to ride a bike, and I missed a stone. So, when you're riding a bike and then you press the front brake, it threw me off from the bike. So I landed on my shoulder, and then I think I've been at home. I started working just last week. I've been at home for, I think, 3 weeks.
Sorry
But
to hear
I'm
that.
still healing, but thank God everything was okay.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, and happy to hear that. Yeah, you're fine. I appreciate you also finding the time to be with us on the panel. Good thing to hear that. Yeah, nothing happened. It happened, but yeah, you're fine. You came out of it alive, more importantly, and you've recovered. Thank you for joining. And I like your background, by the way. Looks like you took some time to buy some equipment for.
Yeah, I moved in a new place, so I have like a place where I can set up my studio. So I
Yeah, it
did
looks
just some,
nice. It
yeah,
looks nice. Hopefully, that will mean we'll be seeing you a lot more on the panel, because
yeah,
that's a
most definitely, most
yeah,
definitely.
good camera, everything. The background, I like it. But I appreciate you more, brother. But more importantly, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, you escaped the accident without any life-threatening injuries. That makes us happy. But that's why I want to say thank you to Hakim for finding the time to join the panel. Also, who was here? Tony Sewell. Tony Sewell. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. I hope I'm not butchering his last name. Tony Sewell. He was here. Good speaker, and I enjoyed listening to him. More importantly, my friend, I've heard you speak before on the panel. I want to say thank you to everyone who's found at the time to be part of the conversation. Santiago, thank you. 20324, thank you so much for joining the conversation. And Mashun Besevli, thank you for joining the conversation. Who else was here? Lusula, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Hello, Ayad, thank you for joining. Tala, thank you for joining the conversation. And this guy that I don't like at all, Keishon, thank you for joining the conversation. And we see Collins Bash. I know Chelsea will win this league, and more importantly, the Champions League. Lateness is greatness. Collins, thank you for joining the conversation. And up the Charles, that's Akinola Abiodun, DJ Kevino, all of you. I appreciate you all. And with that, we've come to the natural end of this particular show. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only